Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the likes and the subscribe down in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciated. Thank you very much to my followers. And if you could, please share it with your friends and family and even online, if different chat groups. I would appreciate as much help and support as we have built an integral channel and trying to make more and more improvements to it as we go. We stick to um, factual information and reviews and insights into what's going on with the Habs and kind of do our best to stay away from Gossipville. And if you trip across this channel, please don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes. Muchly would appreciate it as we try to build a really strong community here. Integral. All right, as it says, we had the Islanders come into town, which was probably a much needed after the rough weekend we had. So we finally get a home game, and the Islanders come into town into Montreal, and great night as we had seen earlier uh, in the week. Waugh got sent back to Laval, which I'm kind of glad. I didn't think they should have brought him up in the first place, only because would rather see him continue improving his game before getting brought back. And I think it's going to take him some time. I don't think it's just juggle him around because we didn't get, it just showed when he got brought back, there wasn't much difference in his game. So I don't think it was the spark Montreal was looking for, but I do think leaving him in Laval for a while and maybe even the season would do him a lot of good. So I thought that was the appropriate thing and just let him be because I think of most of those kids down there, I don't think they should be exposed to what's going on in Montreal until we start heading down a better path. Because you don't want the development to get ruined on these youngsters and all their confidence be destroyed. So anyway, we're going to get to the game, and it was a big night because as I was driving to, Patrick Laine was back from his injury for his first game back, and what a game it was! It was a good game. It was different. It wasn't a low scoring affair, and we're going to get right to it. So, final score was 2-1 Montreal in overtime. First period, there was no scoring. Good, solid play from both teams. Montreal seemed to have a bit of edge in that showing the signs in the first period. Monty was looking solid anyway, and Sorokin did too, actually. So second period comes, we get the first goal, but we don't hold on to it, and they tie this game up due to a little bit of a miscue defensively, and it's a 1-1 affair. So one goal apiece in the second, no scoring in the third, and finally we get an overtime goal in overtime to take the victory. So that was good to see. Nick Suzuki gets the winning goal in overtime, and it was a nice looking goal. A little bit of luck in there with the bounces, but we'll take it. We get enough bounces the other way. So Patrick Laine scored in his highly anticipated Montreal debut. Nick Suzuki scored in overtime, and the Canadiens beat the New York Islanders on Tuesday night. Laine, playing his first regular season game in nearly a year, opened up the scoring on a power play 7:23 into the second period. Nick Suzuki scored at 2:39 in overtime, following up his own rebound, and Sam Montembeault stopped 30 shots. So good, a good little right up there. So Laine gets the first star, scoring his first goal finally with his return. This is nice. He was a -1, but that's going to improve as time goes. Suzuki got the second star, 1 goal, 1 assist for a +1. And Sam Montembeault got 30 saves with 1 goal against, bringing his save percentage in that game to 968. So no scoring in the first period. Second period came. Patrick Laine at 7:23, assisted by Laine Hudson and Nick Suzuki on the power play. And this really, it's nice to see that they finally put Laine Hudson, because he's going to be the driver of this line. It's going to go through him, and finally he's starting to get that role as the first the defenseman on the power plays, and I think the quarterback basically. Anyway, Patrick Laine gets a goal. 7:23 is first, assisted by Hudson and Suzuki on the power play. So the power play is rolling still half decently. But at 18:55, Anders Lee scores one, assisted by Wallstrom and Dobson, which kind of flattened the parade a bit. Third period come, no scoring. 2:39 though. Nick Suzuki gets his 10th of the season, assisted by Mike Matheson, with a nice drop pass, and the play was set up by Cole Caulfield. Beautiful set play that they made, and the follow through of Nick following up on his rebound. So the shots were in favor of the Islanders, 31-27. Hits were in favor of Montreal, 37-32. I question whoever's. I'll continue to question it. I don't. I didn't see. I wonder whoever's writing these analytics numbers. I really got to question some of it because I did not see that much hitting to that degree, 37-32. So I still question who's writing this stuff down because it doesn't. It's not working for me. Anyway, faceoffs won 24-19. Power plays 0 for 3 the Islanders, 1 for 2 Montreal, which was half decent. Penalty minutes 6-4 for Montreal. Giveaways 13-10 for Montreal. Takeaways 4-3 for Montreal. Block shots 19-9 for Montreal. So yeah, it got physical. It was it was an all right game. Uh, it was I wouldn't say it was an outstanding game, but it was a well played. The team fought for each other and never gave up. So that's the trend we're seeing. They're at least not quitting, and that's a good thing to see. It was nice to see the ovation that Patrick Laine got in Montreal. Just liked the way they welcomed him back, and he was definitely humbled. You could see it, and then hearing his interview of how he'll never forget this. It just shows. I think it did really humble him, and so seeing that line that they developed with Kirby Doc, Slavkovsky, and Lonnie, I think it can only get better. There were some good signs. They started to fade a bit as the game went on, and I think that's to be expected with Lonnie. Would not have. Well, you got to let him get his stamina back. He's going to have to work on game shape for sure. It's his first game, so that's to be expected. But I do think there were positives. I think there were improvements to Slav's game. He played a half decent game. I think Doc is moving in the right direction. I think this is as long as Doc moves his feet, he's going to be fine. And that's the same on Slav. They're big men, but they got to move their feet because when they're not moving their feet, they're just not effective whatsoever. So I think this is going to be a good boost and gives you a second line. However, I still am blown away that they reward guys. This will bother me until I see a change, and I haven't seen that change in 2 years now. We've seen it with, like I said, thank God Anderson's improved this year, but he was the guy last year that was being rewarded and didn't deserve it, and now it's Alex Newhook who's the man getting rewarded, and he's not playing well. He's not the answer to that first line, that's for sure. Um, I do not understand why Montreal does not reward this coaching staff does not reward players who have earned the opportunity, even though you don't have top six. Alex Newhook is no top six player, and he sure as hell is showing that. He's a third liner at best, and this year, I would even question that the way he's played a lot of the times. He just, I'm sorry, he just doesn't have the IQ that this line, the other two players on that line have. He's not at their level whatsoever. And he's soft, soft, soft. You see him lose the board battles. He doesn't want to battle for the puck. I see it all the time. He's afraid to get hit. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Wasn't a fan when the trade took place. I'm still not a fan. And I think it just reinforces why I'm not a fan. Guy can have as much speed as he wants, but it's useless if he can't utilize a purpose of what he's doing with that speed. So I just don't. I'm not a fan of soft players, and I'd love to see his work ethic change in that regard. I mean, I've seen his efforts trying to get back last night; it was useless. And he's got speed. There's no excuse. I've seen him put up better efforts, so he doesn't impress me. And I think that's something Montreal I'd like to see us start uh, focusing on making veterans accountable, just as accountable as the kids. Defensively, we played a half decent game. There were still errors. That like that legal was a definite view of an error, and Monty played solid tonight. I give him that. I still don't think these goaltenders are starters. Primo shouldn't even be with us. He shouldn't even be in the NHL. Monty's a backup, and I'm, my preference. Yes, he had a solid game, and then this was a team effort. But I look forward to the day that we have two real goaltenders. That's just my view on that, and still hoping they'll pick up a veteran somewhere, and then maybe next season you get Dobish or Hughes up as the backup to start and push the starter, whoever the veteran is that we trade for. I'd like to see, but I do hope that I know we've heard rumors that Hughes was furious over the weekend. I believe I believe that was in New York, and nobody, a lot of reporters saying they'd never seen him like that, and sure he should be. The referee, the officiating in New York was terrible, blatantly terrible. Um, there's no ands and buts about it, and I don't know. No wonder he's upset. But we got to also start getting some of the efforts again. I mean, this has got to show. I mean, you've had. I think when you see efforts like the new hooks and stuff like that, you're not getting what you thought you were when you paid a high price for them. So that's got to get to them. But it's good to see Lonnie back. He looked half decent. I think he's going to look a lot better. Give him some games under his belt. Let him get 15 games behind him. I think this line will gel even that much more, and it will do all three of those players. I don't know what you do with that first line because you only got two choices. You either break up the big three on the second line and put Slab back up there, but I would not by any stretch of the imagination put Newhook in either of those two lines. I would not. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't fit. So to me, you've got three guys who have earned a right, actually even a fourth. And people can say what they want about Yoel Armia. He's got the size, and he does at least put the effort in, and he's strong on the boards and wins battles. He protects the puck well. That's the bonus there. So you could use him. He's the last of my choices, but I would say, why are we not rewarding Gallagher? Why are we not rewarding Evans? Why are we not rewarding Heineman's the perfect candidate? He comes out and gives you 100%, and especially with his hitting. He's been, like our top guy for hits, and that's who I would put on the second line if you're moving Slav. If you're not moving Slav, I think Heineman can fit on any line. I would put him on the first line. He deserves it. He's earned it, and I think Evans and Gallagher have earned it the right to. And I think next after that, it's Armia, because yes, Anderson's played much better. I like Anderson where he is. I wouldn't even mess with that line. I think that line is well put together with Gallagher, Anderson, and Dvorak. That just seems to be a good solid line. Um, like the way it's playing all the way around. I like what they're doing. But however, I do think enough is enough. Stop. We got to get out of this cycle of rewarding guys that don't deserve it and start making them accountable for their play. And that I don't see. But a great game for Montreal with a, hey, we'll take it. Nice setup in overtime, and Nick comes through, and Nick's been, he's been our top guy, him and Caulfield. They've, at different times have been um, the one and two. No end of some buts, but I love Caulfield's game. He's just been so complete of a player. Um, but Nick is coming on, and that's good to see. Starting to get some production there, and that's starting to come through at big times for us, like we're used to. So that's good to see. However, I do think there's going to come a point here where your line one and line two is probably going to be whether they continue to go with what they got. Although, like you say, you got to get Newhook out of that position and put him back on the third or fourth. That's just my. I'd actually rather see him on the fourth at the moment because I think that's what he deserves, fourth, and I think he deserves to be alternated with Michael Pezzetta. That's my opinion. So don't shoot me. Keep it respectable. Thank you for watching. We will review the next game. Who do we have next? I didn't even look at that. I think it's Nashville. That's going to be a tough one for us. We just don't have a good record with Nashville. So we got the win with against Wall's team, but and that was good. But I wouldn't expect too much against Nashville, although they've had a bad season. Let's hope that follows through. Maybe we get lucky and win one against them. That would be a nice change. But nice to see us get the 2 points for a change. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Yes, the Preds are in Montreal Thursday. That's going to be, I wouldn't get your hopes up. This is a veteran team with a lot of talent on it, and where we're just trying to get something rolling. As long as we play respectable, that's the main thing. I don't project that we'll win, but I will be back to review that game, and let's hope we do move forward positively. And leave a comment, tell me what you think, but keep it respectful. Well, that's something that we expect here, and we won't tolerate anybody calling anybody anything or disrespectful behavior. It's just not going to be acceptable. So thank you for joining me. Go Habs, go! I was excited. Good to see what we had here. I even think we had a great game, a really good game in New York. I think we deserved a better fate. And Boston, we fell apart. No and ifs and buts. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's hope that I still hope we stick within getting a top 5 pick, because we're not going to compete for the wild card. So why ruin it? We should take advantage of getting that top 5 pick. Although we do, there's no doubt we have to get on uh, showing better examples of play overall and get out of this. We don't want to be in a lazy mode or a lack of effort. So that's got to be something, and if they keep working on that, and they have been, you can tell it's changing, and that's good. But man, this team's got to get way more physical. The physicality is nowhere near where it needs to be. I still don't think we have an identity. And I think that's eventually got to change. I hope we don't pull triggers just for the sake of pulling triggers in trades, because now the trades have to be well thought out for guys that are going to be a part of the future to boost these kids up forward, that are going to be a part of the plan. So if something comes, it's going to have to be really well thought out by Gordon and Hughes. And I'm still saying you probably won't see much until trade deadline. If they do something, I'd be shocked. But we'll see. So go Habs, go! Pretty pumped, and let's hope we have a good fate against Nashville. I think we need, a few wins would be nice right now. So thank you for joining me. You've seen it here at Center Heights Productions. First, puck drops here first, and we'll catch you in the next one. Go Habs, go! God bless.